Right, of course, we're live from the Leonardo Morning Live Sports. My name is Tamo Kaba, of course, and I'm also donning the rather amazing kit, or rather not even the kit, the match supporters jersey, the SA supporters jersey when it comes to all things that has to do with old school, and of course, it is tied to the Springboks as well. But, you know, when you talk about all things Springboks, we're talking about the greatest rivalry tour, and in particular, the greatest rivalry match, Test 1, taking place tomorrow between the Springboks and also New Zealand at Ellis Park, and we're joined by the #1 Impi Warrior when it comes to that. He goes by the name of Sibusiso Kotelo-who, and we're going to talk to him all about, you know, what it's all about to be an Impi Warrior. So, Spu, good morning, welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you so much for having me, I appreciate it.
All right, let's talk about your particular journey, right? When you're looking at your career so far as an Impi Warrior, and like I said, the #1 Impi Warrior in particular, how would you say the feeling was when you started versus where you are right now? What would be the difference? Did you feel this is exactly what it would be, or you felt something else?
No, look, the first time I was very nervous, and now I think I've progressively become nervous in a good way, because now it's, you know what to anticipate, you know exactly what's about to happen, and it's just a very huge honor, and it's a privilege to be able to walk out the Springboks.
I mean, also, let's talk about that, right? Walking out the Springboks, you are part of, you know, the energy that has to do with that. You know some of these Springboks as well before you go on the pitch. So what is the feeling for you, but also the feeling that you want to give to, you know, all the supporters that support the Springboks?
Look, I mean, at the time it's the quietest time, you zone in, you know about to, execute a very big moments, because you're the front runner, before the Springboks come through. So I always want to leave the fans, feeling like we now come together as a family, as a South African family, to back the boys, because that's what it's all about, to encourage the boys to say, listen, we out here, but we have your back 110%.
I mean, also just looking at that particular journey right now, right? You had started, I think we were speaking in particular, you started this in 2024. Now, would you say very soon to anniversary? Let's talk about that. Especially, when did you start? What particular match was it? Let's talk about that.
Look, tomorrow for me, it's altogether beautiful. My first match was in Ellis Park 2 years ago, and it was against New Zealand. So it's 2-year anniversary for me, and I haven't lost a test match. So tomorrow, I'm confident walking out there knowing that thus far I've had 100% win rate.
So, of course, also going into these particular matches, right? What goes into the mindset of an Impi Warrior? What is the one thing you want to bring out and you want, the supporters, but also South Africans to feel when they're there in particular for these particular matches?
It's about unity, man. It's all of us coming together, making sure that we're backing the boys, making sure that we're out there to support them. I carry the spear, and when I throw that spear forward, it's me telling them, guys, listen, we out here, go forth and conquer. So I'd really like the Springboks to know that and feel that, and I want the fans to also carry that spirit. That's what it's all about.
Now, listen, you're a very good representation of South Africa in particular, right? And a good representation of what it means to be a South African person, but also you're a bodybuilder as well. Let's talk about that particular journey as well as being a bodybuilder. How's that one been for you in particular, preparing you to also just be an Impi Warrior as well?
Yeah, look, it's been beautiful. I'm a pro athlete in my own right. As you said, pro bodybuilding. I just came from Brazil. I did the Arnold Classic there. So, I mean, seeing those guys, I also get inspired to see the level and the work ethic they work at. I'm inspired to even, work even harder. So it's been a beautiful journey. And I mean, I'm competing again in November. So I hope to represent South Africa in my own right. So it's been an incredible journey. All my sponsors pulling together to make sure that, we eventually get to the Mr. Olympia stage.
Sbu, you are wearing some branding that has to do with you as well, right? It says Impi Warrior, and on it has a bit of an icon of, I'm assuming, I don't know if it's necessarily your body or someone else's body from the Impi Warriors. So let's talk about that in particular. I mean, how did that come together for you as well?
No, man, I just want to give a big shout out to Pick and Pay Clothing. They came on board, they saw the vision. We were out there saying, listen, what can we do as well to support the green and gold? So we got the SK Impi Warrior clothing, and now we're out here at all the retail stores, Pick and Pay Clothing, and in Pick and Pay ASAP app. Yeah.
Right, now looking at your particular journey so far from 2024, I mean, it's almost 2 years since you've been doing this. Lovely journey it's been for you. What have you seen from, in particular, people? What have people said to you when they see you? How recognizable have you been? What has been the attention that you've received, and how have you received that particular attention?
Oh, man, it's been beautiful. Someone actually called us walking out on the field as a national treasure. I remember in Cape Town, we walked out, and I'm fully clothing. An old lady comes up to me and says, hey, listen, next to the national anthem, you guys are the most important thing on that, at that stadium. And What an honor, what a privilege. You know, someone at that age literally equating the walking out of the Springboks as the equivalent to the national anthem. It's been amazing. The feedback has been great. I love the fact that everyone is engaging with it. And that's why we said, listen, let's come out with the brand so people can engage further with what it means to be an Impi Warrior.
Right, Sibusiso, of course, not everybody will be a Springbok, right? Not every single person will be a Springbok. Not every single person might even work for the Springbok team, but some people might be an Impi Warrior in particular, and they might be a part of something like this. So if you had to give advice to someone right now who's watching you on our screens on Morning Live, and you had to give them some advice, maybe as to, you know, this particular journey that you've put yourself into, and you've been enjoying it, you've been loving the ride, you're going to all the games tomorrow at Ellis Park, next week in Cape Town, you know what I mean? Everywhere the Springboks goes, you go, and to an extent, you said, you know, you're kind of also the luck, you know? Let's just add you a little bit and say you're the luck as well. So what advice would you give to the young people out there that just want to be like you?
Look, being an Impi Warrior, I think it's something everyone can do, because what it means to be an Impi Warrior, it's about resilience. It's about everything that South Africa actually stands for. It's about courage. That's us. That's South Africa. We bounce back. You know, we've been through so much as a country, but being an Impi Warrior is about the spirit. The physique follows through. I always tell people, don't look at that, you know, but it's about what it means. It's the heart, it's the courage, resilience. So in essence, all of us can actually participate in being an Impi Warrior. So that's what it's all about.
All right, you hear it here first, someone super passionate in particular about what it's all about, being, you know, an Impi Warrior, the #1 Impi Warrior, but also having a team of Impi Warriors also in particular. I mean, it's a big fixture, the greatest rivalry tour, but also the greatest rivalry match taking place between New Zealand and South Africa tomorrow at Ellis Park. Test match #1. It's quite a big one, and as you can imagine, wearing old school as well. I'm feeling quite ready for that particular fixture, but we'll be back straight off the break. You're watching Morning Live.